Jen from Scrapping Under the Influence. I am here this morning with 3 super easy last minute gift cards or gift holders or treat holders that you can whip up in no time at all. Literally, I did all of these in an hour this morning. So, and that was designing from scratch. Like, I had no clue what I was doing. I sat down and went, what can I make? And here we are. So, we have a treat bucket, which of course is kind of hard to show. And this thing holds a ton. Like, okay, the bigger bags like this from Costco, yeah, that's in there. And I mean, I think we'd eaten maybe 6 or 7 of these prior. They don't match with my paper, but it's okay. It was all dark chocolate. That's why I have them. And then I've tucked a gift card for Starbucks in there. I've got a shaker card. We can see our gift card through the window there. Super easy to put together. I used one of the odds and ends that I cut in half to bracket on either side of my little shaker window, and the shaker is kind of popped up there, little puffy shaker dome, and then I've got my little gift card adhered in there with just some temporary adhesive. Super easy to do. I will show you how to do that. And then this one is just a giant tag that you could attach to something like this. Give it as is. This is 4x8 with a smaller tag on the front. And when you untie this and open this up, you've got your gift card tucked in that little acetate pocket there, and it's ready to go. So super easy, super fast. Most of these you can use scraps for both of these. This you will need a full sheet of the acetate. The cute patterned acetate, Doodlebug acetate that I used on the card there and on this were just scraps that I had left over from something else. So all of these go together super fast. So let's get into it. As always, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified when I post new projects. And, you know, thank you again, you guys, for another good year. And I love seeing when you guys make my projects. So thank you. Merry Christmas, and let's get into it. Okay, so we are going to make a treat box with the Doodlebug acetate. So this is the 12x12 sheet. I just took the branding strip off, and we are going to score this. You are not going to believe how fast this is. This is like insane. I am going to score it in my trimmer just because, I don't know, I had this like epiphany moment of, I bet I could score acetate better in the trimmer than with the scoreboard. I don't know why. It doesn't seem to move as badly, but you can absolutely do it with the scoreboard as well. So I'm going to, like I said, 12x12, super easy. You're going to score at 4 inches. You're going to score, oops, I have my little thing out, huh? You're going to score at 8 inches. 8, yes. You're going to turn it and do the same thing again. So you're going to have 9 4x4 sections. Okay. Now, I'm going to switch my blade back. Normally, I don't keep the scoring blades for these things, but for some reason with this one I did. All right, so now I'm going to put it back in and line it up at 4 inches. I'm going to start my trimmer at 4 inches. And I'm going to cut up. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to start at 8. And I'm going to cut down. So we're cutting 2 flaps. Okay. I'm going to turn it around and do the same thing again. So we're only doing this on one side. Okay. So again, starting at 4 inches and 8 inches. Okay. Now we are going to flip this over, and I'm going to find my bone folder. Excuse me. Now, let me put, can you see it a little bit better? Not really. That's the only problem with the acetate, is it is not the easiest thing to see. Okay, so we've got little flaps and we've got a solid middle section. So that's where we're going to start folding. So I'm just going to fold this over, make sure I'm lined up, take my bone folder, and burnish that down. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing going the other way. Okay. And then we're going to do all of our side pieces. So you can do them one at a time, honestly. This actually worked for me to do them all three at once on my prototype, so that's what I'm going to do here. We're going to come back this way, and this side I'll do one at a time so you can kind of see. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is fold these center pieces in, and we're going to fold the sides up, and you're going to do this till you make a little point. See? Aha, the light glaring on it's coming in handy. So I'm making a little point. And I'm going to find clips, maybe, like stronger clips than those. Clip clips. Let's try it with the clip clip. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So, like I said, super easy, because when you line up that point, it really kind of makes a tree shape there in the middle. I know that's like impossible to see, and I apologize. As much as I love acetate, that is the only complaint I have. Now you're going to want to punch. So because I wanted my tiny punch, I have the gigantic crocodile that I literally haven't used in I don't know how long. I'm sure we pretty much all have these from back in the days of, you know, using grommets. Which if you've got grommets, you could actually use that, and that would be awesome with this. I don't have any that I could find easily, but all we're going to do, let me find, maybe if I do it. Okay. So you're going to have your points matched up here. You're going to come down. I don't know how to show you this. You've got your square here. You've got your points coming up here. You want to go centered up as best you can and go about 1/4 of an inch down from where this middle piece in the back intersects with our 2 corner pieces. Okay? And that's where the clips come in handy, because at least then it stays put. Well, you can come in here and punch your hole. And of course, it doesn't have to be exact. But there we go. So there's my hole. And of course, now they're sliding, but it's easy enough to get them lined back up. And then come and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and then brads, and I think I'm going to use pink brads for this one. So there are Doodlebug brads in the shop on Country Craft Creations. I'm going to use the small ones out of this instead of like my prototype one. So here's my prototype. And, oh, there you can kind of see, aha, you can kind of see how it makes that little tree shape. Okay, so there's my prototype. This is with just the normal acetate. It works just fine. And I did use the bigger brads on this. That was just to make sure that, you know, the thing that my crazy brain came up with at 5 a.m. when I couldn't sleep was actually going to work before I cut into this acetate. Ugh. And we're going to drop a brad, because of course we are. Okay. So then I'm just going to run my brad through that. And there you go. And this one kind of slid, so I just need to line my holes back up, which is easy to do. And too, that's partially why I used the crocodile, because it's got that smaller punch. Okay. So there you go. Now all you need to do is fill this with goodies, decorate it up, and you've got a nice little box to give to a neighbor or a friend or a hostess or whatever. So to decorate this, I could use my this and that stickers. I could use odds and ends, pretty much anything. Okay, so you will of course have seen the finished decorated version at the beginning of the video, but that's it. It's literally that easy. Okay, so this one is another super easy, because let's face it, it's December 23rd. If you don't have something for somebody at this point, it's going to be a gift card. So this is going to be a little bit different of a gift card holder, and something that you can, you know, so my mom, and she's done this for a long time, like, you know, for Christmas she always will give us cash, but she won't just give us a card with cash in it. She'll put it on something. And she's done this like for my husband for his birthday. I don't remember, there was one year, I don't remember what she got him, but it was like, it was something he wanted, but the parts for it were like tiny, tiny. So I mean, we're talking like a jewelry box, you know, size. And she put them on a box of like Twinkies or something like that. So, you know, so like when you want to give a gift card, but you don't want to give just the gift card, so like you could attach this to, you know, a box of homemade treats. You could attach this to, you know, Twinkies or something like that, you know, like their favorite hostess treat or something like that. So this is super easy. What I have here, I've got everything like pre-cut for the most part. I've got like shipping tags. I don't know where they came from. They're out of my stash, but I'll give you the measurements because you can absolutely do this with cardstock. I'm doing it with the tags just because I have them and that's easier. So this first one is 4x8 for the big one. The smaller one, and we're going to actually trim this down, is 3 1/8 by 6 1/4. But we're going to trim this because I don't want it to be the weird measurement. Okay. So I'm going to cut it down to 6 inches high. And then I'm going to cut just enough off of it. I think I'm going to do it from up here because I can kind of see better. I'm just going to try to, I mean, because it's not going to be exact, obviously. And if you're doing this with cardstock, then, you know, just cut it to 3 by 6. Okay, so I'm just cutting that little bit extra off so that it's out of the way. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of cardstock that is 6 by 6. I'm completely out of my 6 by 6 of the Doodlebug 6 by 6, so I'm using just normal size paper, but if you've got the 6 by 6 pad, even better. Okay, so we're going to score this at 3 inches and fold that in half and burnish it. And that is going to go on the back side of that tag. Okay, so that when it's matted, which I'm actually not folding it that way, I can only get this way. it'll open like this, okay? The front of this, you need another piece of 3x6. And then for the inside, I just have a scrap of the little printed acetate that we're going to use for our gift card holder piece of it, or cash, however you want to do that. And this is, I don't even know what this is. It was just a scrap I had in my box. So this is 2 7/8 by 2 1/8. Whatever size you think is going to work. You could do it like, this piece is not important. It's just a scrap. It can be paper. Okay. So for this piece, I've got 2 pieces of 4x8 that I'm going to use, one front, one back, so that, you know, no matter how this is turned, it's going to be cute. Okay. If I don't put that back on there, I'm not sure why I grabbed that out of it, but okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to use the tape runner for this, just to demonstrate how fast this is going to go together. Okay. So I'm going to use my tape runner onto the tag itself, and I'm going to go all the way around the edge. Okay. And then I'm going to take one of my pieces, I'm going to line it up. And down we go. Okay. And since apparently I cut my cardstock slightly bigger than my tag, which is absolutely fine, I'm just going to trim the excess on the corners. Just like so. And then I'm going to punch my hole. Grab my punch. Okay. Punch my hole. We're going to repeat the process on the other side. So again, I'm just going around with the tape gun. And this is the one I used on my little shaker thing yesterday. So I do have the ultra strong permanent adhesive in here, and honestly, it is almost as strong as score tape. Like, I was doing something with it one night and put something down with oh no, and immediately tried to grab it up to like reposition it, which you could do with like the ATG gun. Yeah, no. Although I will say, so like, and there's not a way to show you, but the tape that's on here, like, they've kind of got like little, I don't know if there's like score markings or cut markings or whatever. So they're only like the individual little pieces on these rolls. The same thing with the white one, are only like maybe 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch wide, which is great. Unless you have to use undo, in which case they come up in all those little tiny pieces. So just a word of warning from somebody who knows this for a reason. Oh my gosh, yeah. That actually happened to me a couple months ago with it when I very first started using them. Okay, alright, so here is our main piece of our tag. I am putting the cute pink cookie paper on the back side. Okay, so we're going to take this piece now, and we're going to attach this to the back. And it's the exact same method. We're going around it with the tape runner. Of course, you can glue it if you want to. I'm just don't want to mess with the glue tonight, or today, right now, this minute. Okay, so this is going to go. Make sure we're putting this in the right orientation. And down we go. Same thing again. We're going to cut our little corners off. And if you don't get it on there exactly, like mine's just slightly off, literally all I'm going to do is trim the tag itself. Actually, I might not even do that. I might just leave it as is. Okay, so again, we're going to punch the hole on the tag side only, which really, because this is going on top of the other one, if you didn't want to punch the hole, and you know, I'm about ready to just throw my recording software out and find something else, but that was hard enough as it was. So apparently I bumped something. I don't know what happened. It did not record the rest of the assembly of the tag gift card holder. So all I did was take some normal Doodlebug twine, run that along the back of this and tie it around, and then adhered this whole mechanism to the front of my card. Before I did that, I took an odds and ends piece and then some of the mini icon stickers and put those down so that they're peeking out from behind this main piece. Inside, I added a little spot for a signature panel, and then I took a scrap of the patterned acetate, added some 1/8 inch score tape around the edges, and then I took one of the border stickers from the This and That sticker sheet and put around the edge to cover up that adhesive on the acetate. And then just finish that off with twine around here, and I took a needle and kind of frayed that out so it's all puffy, just because I like how that looks. It's entirely up to you. You could use just normal ribbon here. You could even put a magnet in there if you wanted to finish that off. And that was all there was to that. I added another one of the little sentiment from the This and That, and then one of the cut aparts, and a puffy sticker over his little candy cane there, just because I felt like it. You absolutely do not have to do that. So that's that. All right, so let's make a shaker card for a gift card. So I'm going to use the Waffle Flower shaker covers, and these are the Puffy Circle. There are 3 to a package. I've got a circle die because this is about 2 5/8, and so I have literally had to dig through my dies for that. I've got 100-pound artisan cardstock. This is 8.5 by 5.5. Another piece that is 4 1/4 by 5.5, and then a piece of the patterned paper that is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. So what I want to do here, actually I'm going to score this first before I get ahead of myself by too much here. So with the 8.5 at the top of the scoreboard, I'm going to score this at 4 1/4. Okay. And golden burnish. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to line this up. And what I have actually is the Easy Runner repositionable. So to make sure I get this lined up the way I want it, because this is going to be the trickier piece of it. If I can get the cover off the end of this. Oh my God, seriously. There we go. I'm going to just get a tiny bit of the repositionable on here, and I'm going to center this up. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing on here. Get that on there. And then we are going to cross our fingers and we are going to attempt to cut through all of these layers. So I have my low tack tape. I'm going to just kind of eyeball this and center it about where I want it and tape it down. And I probably should have drugged my other die cut machine that's a powered one over here, but I really didn't want to. And I'm going to run this back and forth a couple of times and cross my fingers it went all the way through. It kind of feels like it may have. Not quite. But what it did do, once we remove the repositionable adhesive, or pull our panel off of this, what it did is made an impression so that I can then take my die off of my top piece very carefully. And that's why I was trying to be very careful, but it's okay because I will embellish over that little spot. And then I'm actually going to pull these apart and set them aside. And pop this piece out. And then I can just lay this back on here, and it should sit right down into that groove that was made by running that through with the layers. And run it through one more time. Okay. So now that is cut through, we can move the die cut machine somewhere. Okay. So here's how this is going to go together. Take that off. I'm going to fold and burnish one more time. First thing we're going to do is put the repositionable one away so I don't accidentally use it thinking it's the regular kind, because that would be about right. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a scrap of the acetate. I do actually need to take just a tiny bit off the end of this so it's not hanging off the end of my card. Doesn't really matter. We literally just need a piece that's going to fit across our hole. Okay? And all I'm going to do with this is add some score tape on the ends. Line this up so it covers my hole and put it down. Okay? Then we're going to take our middle panel. We are going to adhere our little bubble piece in here. But before we do that, actually, I'm sorry, we're not going to put it in that one. We're going to put it in this one. Because before we do that, I'm going to take the Waffle Flower 1/8 inch foam strips. Let's see what we got in here. So these are kind of neat because you get 3 sheets and they're varying sizes in here. So like some of them are really narrow and longer. There's some really long ones, and then there's some shorter ones, and they're in varying widths. These are 1/8 inch thick, so these are the thicker ones, which is what I want. I'm going to pull a couple of pieces right here out of the middle. And that's what's cool too, is these are sized for an A2 card. Okay. I'm going almost to the edge, but not quite. And then I'm going to find my little middle pieces. That are going to go like so. Except I started too far over on that one, so that's okay. We're going to trim it. Maybe. Maybe not. Like I said, not a big deal. And then on this other end, we're going to grab one more. Okay. And then I'm going to take one of these longer ones because I am going to actually kind of cut around this. And what I'm going to do is just make a box, essentially, around my opening. Just to keep my shaker stuff contained. Okay. And the reason we're doing it this way is because we want this to sit flat on our card front. Okay. So now this piece can go down like so. Okay. So I'll just go ahead and get the backing off of here. I am slightly off center, so make sure that you're lining it up right. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm going to take this little guy. I'm going to adhere him down around in here. And for that, we're going to use the tape gun because it will just run right around this edge. Okay, there is not a protective, I don't think, no, there's not a protective film on this. So I can just pop this through like so. And if I line it up right, that is. See what I'm talking about with this like ultra strong on this? Holy crap. There we go. All right, so that's down. So now I can go ahead, get that, make sure I've got this turned the right way to line up the way I had it with the die. So there we go, it will go that way. We're going to go ahead and add our shaker fill. So this is just some more of that Pops holiday mix from Buttons Galore. I'm actually going to leave this flat so that it's not popping up on me. And we're going to throw some of this in here. But before I do that, I actually want to take and add, well, maybe I don't. I was thinking I was going to add a sticker or something in there, but I don't think I'm going to because then it's going to show from the other side and I don't want to do that. Okay, so we're going to just add some of this in here. Okay. I did put my, yes, I did. Okay. All right. Then I am going to flip this over. I'm going to run my adhesive around my outside edge of the paper. And line it up over my opening and put it down. And there we go. There's our shaker. Ah, so easy, so easy, so easy. All right, so now I just need to finish embellishing my card. I can put my gift card in here and it will show through the front of my cute little shaker here. And that's literally all there is to it. So I will go ahead and get the front of this decorated up and then I'm done. Thank you, thank you, thank you for watching today. Like I said, 3 super easy last minute gift cards or gift holders for, you know, those last minute gifts that, you know, almost always happen. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell if you want to be notified when I post new projects. And everybody have a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you next week with one more project using Gingerbread Kisses to give you something to work on for that time between Christmas and New Year's where you just really don't want to do anything except sit in your house and eat cookies. Or is that just me? Chex Mix? Yeah, maybe. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Merry Christmas.